Good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining in. Today's Saturday morning, May 23rd. I'm here reading an article and drinking a cup of coffee. But this particular article that I've been reading, I thought it was very interesting and it pertains to many of you. So I wanted to talk to you about it. And it has to do with people that recently lost their jobs. And it's a $4,000 stimulus tax credit to get you back to education, get you some new skill set training, get you into a new opportunity so that way maybe you can find a better job or a different type of job to help you get back on your feet. There's really nothing out there like this, and in the CARES Act, we received a one-time stimulus payment of $1,200, $2,400, or whatever the dollar amount is if you had dependents. And the HEROES Act, of course, it's a one-time payment, and there's nothing that actually helps us that are on unemployment to get back on our feet with new education or pay us to go back to school or to help us. I know for many of us that are on unemployment and we are going through our own program within our state, some states do offer some type of opportunity, some type of incentive for us to go out and find a new job and also to possibly go back to school. But from my experience here in California, it's not very helpful or it's not very useful, and it's very minimal. This particular tax credit, of course, you have to pay out of your own pocket, and then the government will then reimburse you or give you back that money that you spent up to $4,000, and it will either deduct any amount of taxes that you owe, or it will give you a complete refund. That's the good thing about it, is it's a refundable tax credit, where many tax credits are non-refundable. So if you owe money on your taxes, it'll bring you down to zero, and then if there's anything left over, it will not give you any refund. This is a refundable tax credit. So if in 2020 you are unemployed right now, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to go on one of these online courses, or I'm going to take a certificate program, or I'm going to get some better education. I'm at home anyways, and I want to go back to learning something, and hopefully I can get a better job, and so that way you can get off unemployment. The expense you spend on that, you can use that as a write-off on your taxes, and then this expense will be reimbursed back to you as a tax credit, and you can spend up to $4,000. Within this article also talks about that it will carry through 2020 and possibly through 2021, which is good because, you know, maybe we can spend $4,000 this year to get some education or additional training, and then also next year. The downfall about this, you have to have the money to spend to be able to get this additional training. And some educational courses are pretty expensive out there. If we're on unemployment already and we're, making a decision, do I need to put food on the table or do I go back to school? I'm going to choose food. Or if I need to put gas in my car or whatever it is, unfortunately, we got to make our sacrifices. And many of us don't have the money to go back to school even if we want to. So I think this particular proposed bill, they can take it a step further and actually maybe work with colleges, so that way instead of being a tax credit, it would be a stimulus package or stimulus payment of some sort that will pay the school directly or pay the source of the education that we're getting, so that way we can't attend the school or attend the certificate program, or maybe they can, the schools or the programs can work with the government, so that way they pay directly to them, so that way no money comes out of our pocket and we can just go to school and learn. This is, pretty much wide open to anybody who recently lost their job. You don't have to have any income specific. So right now in the tax law, they have the opportunity tax credit, which is a form of a credit to help people that are going back to school, where you can get $2,500 back on your tax credit when you spend it to go to school. On this particular bill, there is no minimum or maximum dollar amount that you have to make. Pretty much everybody will be qualified. So hopefully once the actual bill comes out, we'll be able to see exactly the complete details. But for right now, it's actually a pretty good opportunity for many of us to get some continued education or some new skill set where we can get reimbursed with that, for those of us that can afford to do that. I know unemployment's a really tough situation right now. There's been over 20 million jobs lost. Some states recently been hit super hard. I couldn't believe it. I was doing some research. There's been some states that between March and April, there's been extreme amount of increase in the percentages of unemployment. Nevada's been hit the hardest. In March, they had a 6.9% unemployment rate. In April, they had a 28.2% unemployment rate. And so, which gives them an overall of 21.3% on unemployment in the Nevada. Hawaii was also hit pretty hard. You had back in March a 2.4% unemployment rate, and then in April it was reported at 22.3% unemployment rate, which basically is just sitting around a 20% unemployment rate. I don't know what May's going to look like. We'll see that here shortly. There's been other states like Michigan, Indiana, Rhode Island, and where they're seeing double-digit increases on unemployment month over month. So a lot of people are being hit super hard. And I think this particular, stimulus opportunity for us to go back to school and get some additional money back, it's a great thing. I believe they should expand on it and provide us some maybe additional income, or like I mentioned, pay the schools directly or pay the program directly, so that way we don't actually have to pay money out of our own pocket, and we can just sign up and attend to get some type of education or additional training. What do you think about this particular program? Is it something that will help you? Are you on unemployment right now? What are you doing with your time? Leave a comment down below. Let us all know what you're doing with your time. Are you going back to school? Are you spending money to get some new skill set, some new training, some continuing education to hopefully, are you thinking about going back to your same job? Are you thinking about getting a new, better job? Leave a comment. Let us know. How would you feel about this $4,000? Should it be more money? Do you agree that we should have a tax credit, or do you much prefer what I recommended, that the government would pay the school directly, or some type of other program where we don't have to pay the money out of our own pocket? Leave a comment. Let us know. As this bill gets introduced, I will do a second video on this once we have all the complete details on this. Thank you for watching. Have a great morning for those of you, and enjoy your cup of coffee for those of you that like coffee. Thank you for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. If you would like to join my community, you can find me here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on LinkedIn. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that way when I have new information available, you'll be notified. And if you have any additional questions that I may be able to help answer, leave a comment and I'll try to answer some of those questions in my next video. You can see me here throughout the week and also every Saturday morning with a cup of coffee, and we'll be chatting about events. Thank you for joining in. Bye and have a great morning.